Prison Break Season 1 is the best television season in television history, and I don't care what anyone says. Alright guys, that's the video. Thanks for watching. I'll bring you guys Season 2 really soon. Nah, but for real, Prison Break Season 1 is peak, man. When people talk about the best TV shows of all time, you always hear about Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, and even Game of Thrones. No one really talks about Prison Break because I feel like it's a common consensus that Prison Break has only 2 goated seasons. At least, that's what the majority of people say on Reddit, Twitter, and YouTube comments. Actually, now that I'm reading these comments, people say Prison Break has only 1 good season. Interesting. Really interesting. Now, I just finished watching the entire show of Prison Break last week, and I actually enjoyed all 5 seasons of the show. Yeah, you heard that right. All 5 seasons. Now, I guess you can kind of consider this video as an overall recap or review of Season 1. I will be dropping 5 separate videos of each season of Prison Break, and also we'll be doing a ranking of all seasons from worst to best. And I also will be ranking my favorite characters in the show based on performances, acting, and that type of stuff. Spoiler, guys. I do want to say, huge spoiler. If you haven't seen Prison Break yet, and I'm talking about all 5 seasons, please click the big red X in your top right screen and exit this video. Go to Netflix like right now, because apparently Netflix is going to take out Prison Break from the app for some dumb reason. Or you can just go to Hulu, or you can just watch it online on some illegal website, or I don't know. Do whatever you need to do, but just watch Prison Break. Alright, there's your warning. Now let's talk about Prison Break.
It's showtime, folks.
Prison Break Season 1 is about a man named Michael Scofield, played by actor Wentworth Miller, a structural engineer who intentionally gets himself imprisoned in the Fox River State Prison to break out his brother, Lincoln Burrows, who is on death row for allegedly murdering the brother of the vice president. The vice president's name is Caroline Reynolds, and her brother's name is Terrence Steadman. Not gonna lie, that's already pretty fucked up. I'm pretty sure if you tell anybody what I just heard right now, or what I just told you guys about what the show is basically about, they would be automatically engaged and they would want to watch the show. So let's continue. Michael has hidden the prison's blueprints by tattooing them on his body. Once convicted from his crimes of robbing a bank with multiple guns, which is kind of funny, he begins recruiting allies inside the prison while setting his plan in motion. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when it comes to TV shows, I'm pretty hard-headed and very ignorant, I will admit. If someone recommends a show to me, I usually ignore them and watch the shows later from its original release time. I did that with Breaking Bad, and I did that with Dexter as well. So when I heard about the premise of what this show was about, I was like, okay, I'll give this show a shot.
Don't lie to me, bitch. I'm not cute.
I'll come in with an open mind. Now, like most TV shows, they start out somewhat slow, and that's expected because you got to flesh out your characters properly, good character writing, and write overall a good story. So believe me when I tell you that the first 3 to 4 episodes of Prison Break Season 1, after Michael gets arrested, are kind of slow. Nothing really engaging is going on. Nothing crazy. It's not bad like other TV shows like Game of Thrones, where it takes 4, 5, some people would even say 6 episodes for something to fucking happen. Or another show called Better Call Saul. I know a lot of people are not going to like what I just said, but I do believe that in order to capture your audience properly, that shit gotta take max 2 to 3 episodes. And that's why I love Breaking Bad, because it gets to the fucking point with the idea. I know some people are probably going to disagree and say it's a slow show, but once again, I do disagree with that personal opinion. I know some people are going to say I have a TikTok brain, but you can't really say that if I think Breaking Bad is the best show ever. Like, come on, guys. And I'm currently in the works as well of watching Better Call Saul. Video coming sometime in the future, by the way. Anyways, back to Prison Break. Another thing that I do love about Prison Break is the theme of religion and Jesus Christ. As someone that's a Christian like myself, seeing scenes like when Lincoln is in the church inside of the prison and Michael tells him to have some faith, or when John Brucey John Abruzzi, starts seeing an image of Jesus Christ with the crown of thorns on his head, on his cell wall, dripping paint or blood or whatever the substance was. That is just art. Cinema. Absolute peak. You don't see these type of plot elements anymore nowadays. But yeah, just wanted to show my appreciation for what the writers did for the show. You're going to see something like this as well in season 2 with Michael. Now, back to Michael's escape plan. Michael tests the prison systems by orchestrating small escapes, like when he carves out access through the toilet in his cell. He starts becoming friends or homies with cellmates like Fernando Sucre, who is one of my favorite characters in the show. The amount of loyalty this man shows to Michael for all 5 seasons, and Lincoln as well, is unmatched.
Puppy, you're alive?
Michael also manipulates others, including mob boss John Abruzzi, whose connections he needs very badly to leave the prison on a plane at the end of season 1. Now, in Prison Break season 1, there's kind of 2 stories happening at the same time, but they obviously are connected, which is something the writers did a great job in doing. And the second story has to do with the company. The company at first is a great plot element, but then it becomes kind of goofy and stupid. You're going to see why in seasons 3 and 4. So outside the prison, attorney Veronica Donovan, Lincoln's ex, starts doubting the case against Lincoln. Veronica investigates further and discovers evidence that Lincoln may have been framed.
I didn't do it, man. It was a setup. I didn't do it.
Sucre initially declines the plan, but later rejoins Michael's plan after realizing his fiancée is moving on with another man called Hector. I mean, can you blame Sucre for going crazy? During one of the episodes this season, we get one of the best scenes in my opinion, in which Michael sets up a test run of his escape route by pretending to fix Pope's project in his office, the warden of Fox River at the time. And then this man Michael is moving like Batman, going up on rooftops without being noticed, and then he sees all 3 streets, and then boom, you get that smile because he knows which street he has to go to once they escape the prison at the end of season 1. On the outside, Veronica partners with a colleague called Nick Saffron, or Saffron, however you want to say, to keep investigating Lincoln's case. Once we got to the famous 2-parter of the prison riot episodes, I was completely hooked. You get insane performances from T-Bag, who is an insane actor for the show. This might be a hot take, but T-Bag's performance in Prison Break, especially seasons 1 and 2, gives me Heath Ledger Joker vibes from The Dark Knight. The way this man just licks his lips. Ain't that right? The way he just carries out himself like a true serial killer. I mean, like I said, 10 out of 10 performance. Absolutely amazing stuff. Just give me more. Another person that has an insane performance in Prison Break is Captain Brad Bellick. At first, I'm not gonna lie, I despise this man with a passion watching seasons 1 and 2. I mean, who wouldn't hate a person in a show that hates on the main protagonist and for some reason kills a cat? Like, you really killed D.B. Cooper's cat.
Come on, man.
But after season 2, he kind of got nerfed, but in a good way, and I rooted for his character a lot in the following seasons. Now, a prison riot erupts in the middle of the show, or I should say in the beginning, because Michael fucks up the air conditioning. Thanks, Michael. Michael uses this chaos to access the infirmary, but also has to protect Dr. Sarah Tancredi, the governor's daughter, the prison doctor, who becomes a key part of his master plan. This man, Michael, has to riz the fuck out of Sarah, in which he does. The riot continues. A bunch of crazy shit happens, but Michael saves Sarah once again, like Batman.
Come on, grab my hand.
How cute. On the outside, with the second story, Veronica undercovers evidence suggesting the murder victim, aka Terrence Steadman, might still be alive. Wow. Now on the outside, you get a lot of Veronica and LJ, aka Lincoln's son, but we gotta talk about these 2 motherfuckers. Paul Kellerman and Daniel Hale. This man has my name too. Daniel. Interesting. But yeah, anyways, Paul Kellerman is another goated character in this show. I do want to say that I despise what they fucking do to Kellerman in season 5. They did my boy dirty. But that's for another video for another day. Now, about 9 episodes in, Michael recruits a new member named David Tweener Aposkis after he's blackmailed, obviously. Tweener, man. Tweener, another goated character in the show. Honestly, man, majority of the characters from seasons 1 and 2 just give Oscar nominee performances. I'm just going to put it like that. I'm just completely shocked on how good the acting is with a lot of these characters. Michael is forced to help Abruzzi's deal with mob rival Falzone, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, in exchange for continued support, in which both of them outplay the fuck out of Falzone and get him arrested. Just wow. Later on in the show, the escape team expands to 7 men once C-Note, aka Benjamin Franklin, finds out Michael and the PI crew want to escape prison. You know what's crazy? Once this happened, I did not like C-Note at all. Like, I thought C-Note was going to be like another antagonist like T-Bag, and I was going to hate him throughout the show. But the writers of Prison Break, they did a great job in making you root for C-Note once they gave you his backstory on how he went to prison, and also showing you that he has a wife and a daughter. I was like, wow. Talk about don't judge a book by its cover. Literally. But trust issues start forming between the PI crew. Each member has personal motives and secrets. While this is happening on the outside, Veronica and Nick uncover deeper government involvement, or should I say, company involvement. LOL. Later on in the show, the team realizes one member must be cut out of the plan due to logistics, time issues, and whatever. Tensions escalate and betrayal looms. Michael struggles to keep control. They all want to leave T-Bag behind. Abruzzi calls his boy and gets T-Bag's cousin killed and his nephew as well, if I'm not mistaken, which is just fucked up, man. Like, come on. The kid did not have to die.
Come on, man.
The escape route is almost complete, but Michael is forced to accelerate the timeline. Lincoln's execution date is getting closer, raising the stakes. The team faces setbacks that could destroy the entire plan, like Michael getting transferred from Fox River to another prison. But of course, Warren Pope comes in clutch and doesn't transfer Michael even while being threatened by the company. But yeah, Michael is very smart in the show, like very, very smart. You can honestly say that this man, Michael Scofield, is the smartest TV character in history. I know a lot of people are going to say people like Walter White, but I don't think he touches Michael Scofield. I'm going to be honest. This man, Michael, puts a black seed poison dot, whatever the fuck that shit was, so that it can be given to his brother Lincoln, so his brother Lincoln can eat it, and then he gets sent to the doctor's office, or the infirmary, I should say, so Lincoln can escape from there. But yeah, that plan doesn't work, and now it's time for the execution once again. This man Michael doesn't catch a fucking break. But a last second intervention saves him, and I cannot tell you guys how much I love Prison Break once again. During this time of the show, you could actually feel the insane chemistry and love of brothers between Michael and Lincoln. Just the music, it all just felt so sad. Almost had me shedding a tear. Insane writing, man. Absolute peak television. But yeah, Lincoln's dad comes through very clutch with some evidence to help out his son. And not only with the evidence, but also to save his son's life when Kellerman was trying to murder Lincoln outside the prison. This is just crazy. Like, this show just does not let go of the gas pedal. I'm telling you guys. I mean, they were about to kill your son, and he pulled up with a double buzzer beater. Like, literally. Talk about being clutch. Later on, Michael realizes he needs a key to access the infirmary for their escape route. He grows closer to Sarah. Michael suffers a breakdown after being thrown into solitary confinement, the SHU as they like to call it, as punishment. He fights to keep the plan alive from isolation, while Sucre and the others struggle without him because, of course, Michael is the brains or Einstein of the group, or to C-Note. Michael successfully obtains the infirmary key through Sarah, through the help of his fake stripper girlfriend, deepening her suspicions, but also the connection, which is pretty funny. Then Sarah tells the worker to change the lock and the key. I was like, bruh, Michael can't get a fucking break in the show. There's always something going on. The conspiracy outside of the company intensifies hard as fuck on Veronica and Nick. Like, literally at this point of the show, the company, aka Daniel and Kellerman, have killed LJ's mom, LJ's stepdad, and they want to keep going. They're on a big murder spree. These people ain't playing around when it comes to murdering people. that know anything about this case. Now, Tweener starts to become literally Tekashi 6ix9ine on the show and starts snitching away. Now, I mean, if I was in prison for something so small like stealing a baseball card, at least that's what I think happened to him or whatever, and I had a freak of a cellmate like this motherfucker, Avocado, yeah, I probably would start snitching as well. So Tweener snitches. Brad Bellick finds out the hole in the room. Yeah, Brad is happy for a second until, yeah, that's right. This time from DB Cooper, aka Charles, comes to the motherfucking rescue. Man, you want to talk about buzzer beaters or being clutch in this show? This man Charles was so clutch on beating up Brad, tying him up and putting him in the hole. I mean, for a man that looks like he's at least in his 60s, he did a great job. But yeah, in the process, Charles gets hurt and he dies later in the season. Really unfortunate, man. Also, I forgot to mention that at one point in the show, Lincoln is in solitary until he gets executed again for punching a correctional officer to make sure the correctional officer doesn't find out that the PI crew is building a hole in the middle of the room.
Hey.
Now, there's a part of the show towards the end of the season where it shows most of the people that plan to escape the prison, and it starts playing this house TV show theme song, you guys know. And it gives like a 5 to 10 second backstory while that music is playing. That is just absolutely amazing, like writing. That is just peak. It just makes everything, it just intensifies the drama, basically. Like I said before, absolute chills, man. Goosebumps. Now the escape plan is ready to launch. Michael takes a piece of Lego from Pope's huge Lego building, whatever this is, as a present for his wife's anniversary. At least I think it was. The big toy in Pope's office breaks. He gets mad and tells the guards to bring Michael back. Michael goes to the warden's office and pulls out the knife that I got earlier for Sino. I think if I'm not mistaken. Because if you guys don't know by now, T-Bag tried to fucking kill John Abruzzi with a fucking razor. I was completely shocked when this happened. I deadass thought Abruzzi was cooked and gone. But then he comes back later in season 1. So that's a relief, right? I mean, Abruzzi is alive and he's going to be in the show for a long time, right? Alright guys, we're coming towards the end of the season and the group, aka the Fox River 8, or I should say Fox River 7 for now, prepares to escape during the night. Now, the escape begins. Pope gets beaten by Michael. Michael meets up with the other crew members. The team tunnels through and makes it to the infirmary. Shout out to Sarah, man. Shout out to Sarah for unlocking the door, by the way. Once again, massive points to Michael for his Riz game. Also, before that, C-Note almost got killed by the other inmates that used to be his friend, but Michael helps him out.
Something you need?
How could anyone hate this guy? But yeah, Bellick manages to take his tape off his mouth by a little bit and screams, and then some guards hear him. But T-Bag comes to the rescue, coming clutch once again in this show. Like, oh man, the stakes are just absolutely insane and very high right now. I kid you not, at this point in the show, if I was at the age of 70 or older, maybe even 60, I probably would have had a heart attack by now because of how stressful shit was. My blood pressure was through the roof when this escape was fucking happening. Like, I was slamming the sofa where I was sitting at home going crazy with anxiety. For example, later on when Michael was the second to last person to escape the prison, like, first of all, what the fuck is that? Michael, you made the plan. You should have been at least third on that list to escape. What are you doing? If I was Michael, I'm making sure Lincoln and Abruzzi get out first, and then y'all are on your own. I do not care. I was the one who set up this plan. I'm escaping at least third on this list. But yeah, they tie up the water hose to the wall. It breaks a piece of the wall out, and they have a clear path to escape.
We're through.
Shout out to him. Now, here, DB Cooper dies, and before he dies, he tells Michael where the $5 million are in Utah. But of course, you had other people in the room being nosy as fuck and listening to the conversation. So that's going to be a good plot for season 2. LOL. Sucre's very overweight cousin tries to escape. The pipe breaks and Michael is holding on for dear life, and so am I, because once again, my blood pressure is through the fucking roof. But after I was being nervous for a long time, they finally escaped the wall. I get to relax and breathe for a little bit because at this point, the stakes are just too fucking high. Like, oh man, like when you talk about a show that got you stressed out, Prison Break is one of them.
I'm a bit nervous, I'm gonna be real.
The remaining men break out of Fox River into the outside world. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention there's this crazy guy called Haywire. He escaped with them too. He kind of helped out Michael earlier in the season with his tattoos because Michael was trying to be like Batman once again by staying quiet. Yeah, that part right there. But got a part of his back burnt. I mean, I don't know how Michael would held that pain. If that was me, I'm probably folding and screaming loud as fuck from the pain. That's just crazy mental strength from Michael. Now the Fox River 8 are on the run. Pope gives out a cool speech with Brad listening as well. Oh yeah, Brad got out of the hole. I just remembered, and he is fucking pissed. Like, when I tell you someone has insane hater energy, Brad is number one on this list for sure. Anyways, fast forward, T-Bag does some dumb shit by cuffing his hand to Michael's hand as well and just swallows the key while they are in the escape vehicle. Just when you thought you couldn't hate on T-Bag anymore, then he does this shit. Like, somebody already took out their life in season 1 because of you, T-Bag. And then T-Bag already killed one correctional officer. Like, what? Like, how many more stupid shit does T-Bag have to do? This man, T-Bag, like I said, the performance is just absolutely insane. And then this man is walking around with his fucking pocket out and having people hold his pocket, walking around prison, just a bunch of crazy shit. On a side note, Nick doesn't betray Veronica, but his dad gets shot in front of him, and then he gets shot as well, which is really unfortunate, but it is what it is. Veronica is able to get to Terrence Stedman's house, which is pretty cool, but one thing I never understood is that, you know, the company is behind this, right? And they are dangerous people, right? Why not go to the house prepared, like, with, I don't know, a gun or something? Like, why are you going into the house unarmed? What is wrong with you? Why do you think going to the house unarmed is a good idea? I just don't understand what the fuck the writers were thinking, or Veronica, whatever you want to say. But anyways, back to the escapees from Fox River. So Tweener splits up because Michael knows he's a snitch, and Michael doesn't want to tell everybody else that Tweener is a snitch because snitches get stitches. You guys already know that. Eventually, Tweener gets in a car with a horse in it, which is pretty funny, and makes it out. One of the first few from Fox River 8 to make it out, man. Shout out to Tweener. T-Bag gets his hand chopped off later on in the season, which is one of the best scenes in the first season for me. I'm honestly kind of glad that happened because this man tried to kill John Abruzzi, and I feel like Abruzzi needed a little bit of a comeback. So, I mean, T-Bag sliced his neck. John Abruzzi sliced off T-Bag's hand. I say it's kind of even.
We're even now, bitch.
Anyways, T-Bag somehow survives. Sarah overdoses, but somehow survives as well, while her co-worker friend is snitching on her at this moment. What is it with people in Prison Break that have a fetish for snitching? Like, what is wrong with y'all? Crazy stuff, honestly. The rest of the guys are running to the airport. They also ditched Haywire a while back, which is kind of fucked up, honestly, but makes sense. They see the plane from a distance, and then you hear this beauty. Absolute goosebumps. Peak television music. It adds so much intensity and drama to what's gonna happen next. Michael and Lincoln and the rest get to the airport. Abruzzi's mafia friend decides to pussy out and leave them behind because he gets scared of cops surrounding him. Now, I don't know about you guys. I feel like Abruzzi's friend could have waited just a little bit, maybe like a little bit, I don't know, like an extra minute or two. Just stay on the plane. What are they gonna do? Shoot you down? Like, just stay in the plane and keep a look. I don't know. I feel like he could have done something there. But yeah, the Fox River 8 get left behind, and then you get this famous line at the end of the season.
We run.
And that, guys, concludes season 1 of Prison Break. The manhunt begins, and that's where season 2 picks up on. Also, forgot to mention one thing about this show. No matter what season it is, Prison Break has the best introduction out of any show. I do not care what anyone says. I mean, I always skip introductions when I'm watching TV shows, but once you hear this after a crazy plot twist, you never want to skip it. And you know shit's about to get serious. So yeah, guys, that concludes my rerun or recap, whatever you want to call it, of season 1 of Prison Break. I probably missed out on some key plot points from season 1, but my bad. This is already a long video and I'm tired as fuck. And I mean, you guys see the length of this video. Shit's no joke. It amazes me that I don't see that many people hold season 1 of this show up to the same level as shows like Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones, when Game of Thrones apparently has a terrible season 8 based off the ratings. But yeah, I'm gonna give season 1 of Prison Break an amazing 9.5 out of 10. Absolute masterpiece. Thank you guys for watching. I plan on releasing season 2 of Prison Break later this month because I have a lot to say about that season as well. I mean, I absolutely love that season. I enjoyed season 2 of Prison Break so much that I indeed do have some hot takes. But anyways, see you guys next time. I am out. Peace.
Thanks for taking the time to watch this video.